Hey everyone, it's Kristen. Okay, so this is the last issue in the Beauty and the Beast miniseries that we were talking about. And this is where everything comes together and everything makes sense. Hopefully. So we open on Dr. Doom standing over Hugo's body. And what we didn't know was that Hugo was actually a robot, one of the most sophisticated robots he's ever created to keep tabs on this place. That's why when his servant was like, the transmission ended, he was getting transmissions from his robot, Hugo. And so that's why when his servant said that the transmissions ended in the last comic book episode, why Doom was now concerned, because apparently he's been watching somebody. So we see that Dazzler and Beast have been captured. Beast tries to make a joke, and she's not, and she says, this isn't the time to joke. And he's like, you're right. And then she says, but I guess that's part of why I love you, your sense of humor. And they talk about, Beast jokes again, looks like we both flipped, huh? And then he asked her to light the place up, and then he's like, oh, never mind, because there's, bones and rats and everything littered around, and she's like, never mind. So, they talk about what happened, like they can't believe that they are put in this situation, and it's crazy that how Beast talks about how he became like a real beast when he, charged after Dazzler, but it wasn't until like Hugo drugged him that he became an actual beast. A parody like of himself, as he said in the last issue. And Dazzler says, yeah, and they made me lose control of my powers, and they made it easy to want to hide. And, Dazzler says, at least you didn't fall for the gladiator theater like I did. And they kiss while hanging upside down. That makes me think of Spider-Man. Of course, you guys all know what part in the movie I'm talking about. Basically, Flynn's like comes in on the scene, and he's like, oh, what a touching little scene. A former Avenger and an X-Men, and the Dazzler, still managing a kiss. And he says, you're here because you're my failures. No matter what I tried to do, drugs, brainwashing, training, and even my hypnotic mutant powers, could I get you to join the gladiators? So there you go. He's actually a mutant, and he's actually been using his powers on Dazzler to try to get her to join. And that's what Beast kept saying. He's like, I don't understand. Like, what's this hold over her? Like, why is she continually going with him? What does he have on her? And so that's what happened, is that he was using his mutant powers on her in order to try to get her to stay with him. Oh, but it gets better. Much better. So, he's like, in addition to my mutant powers, I have the blood of my father running through me. Victor Von Doom. So this Alexander Flynn is Victor Von Doom's, Dr. Doom's supposed son. And that's why he had Hugo, the robot, built to keep track of this guy. And so now his plan, Alex's plan, is to take the mutants that he has drugged, trained, hypnotized, take them and take over Ladveria from his father. Because he says, his days on the throne are over. And Doom wouldn't recognize him as his son or, his claim to the throne. So I'm just going to take it. The time has come. I must prepare my troops. And you see Link and Poltergeist, the two kids from the Heartbreak Hotel, they're coming after to save Dazzler. And Poltergeist, his emotions affect the world around him. So basically, like, he makes trees fall down, rocks like tumble, rock slides, and Link has telekinetic powers. So basically, he's cleaning up Poltergeist's mess as he makes it. So, and Poltergeist remarks, we're quite a pair. His Poltergeist's real name is Mickey. So Mickey says, we're quite a pair. So, Alexander goes on and on about his plan to overthrow his father, and the two fighters, Rocker and the girl, are like, is he still talking to us? I don't think he's talking to us. So they just left, and, Rocker is now like, so this was all a lie, like, so we can leave, we can get out of here. And the girl's like, no, I've chosen to be here. Like, no matter what he says, this is my home, this is where I belong, and plus we like to fight. We can't exist, in the world above. It kind of reminds me of the Morlocks. They hide in the Morlock tunnels because, well, I mean, if you look at her, she's definitely not human looking. Neither is he, really. So it reminds me of them because they hide in the Morlock tunnels away from all the human world, because they are too different looking to pass for human. So they'd rather hide. So basically Doom, he overhears all this and he's like, that's not my blood running through your veins. Your blood isn't thick enough to be the blood of a Doom. Like I said, he's so funny. I mean, he's a serious villain, but he's funny. So Rocker, he lets Beast and Dazzler go. And they're like, what's going on? We're free. It must be a trap. So they go into the arena. And there is Alexander Flynn with his army, all the fighters he brainwashed. And Alex orders them to kill them. And so they're like, I guess, all we can do is, fight together. So Link and Poltergeist, they're still trying to get into the arena to save Dazzler. And Poltergeist is like, I don't want to use my powers. I'm scared. And Link's like, that makes two of us. But Link takes care of the guys, and he basically, tells Mickey, Poltergeist, don't look, because it looks like he kills them. So then they're in, it's Beast and Dazzler in the arena against all the fighters. And Dazzler tries to reason with the one girl fighter. Says, we were friends. Would you really kill me? And the Rocker, horse-face guy, is trying to convince her to switch sides. And she's like, I chose my side. This is where I belong. And Doom is just up there watching. He wants to see what happens. And then, basically, like, the arena starts coming down on them, and that is Poltergeist doing. And Dazzler and Beast see that Poltergeist and Link are there, and they're just kids, and they're like, and so, Alexander, seeing that he's losing, grabs Poltergeist, who's just a scared kid, and he's like, stand back, stay away from him, or I will kill him. And Link's like, don't worry, I'll save you. And so you can see him, he starts to choke him. Like a Darth Vader choke, long distance choking. That's kind of what it looks like, yeah. Well, it is, because he's like, Alex is like, I can't breathe. And Beast's like, Daz, we can't let him do this. We can't let him kill him. And Link's right, and he collapses because he's exhausted, and he's like, you're right, I can't kill him. I don't want to. And so Daz is like, run, boys, you've done all you can here, we'll take care of the rest. We got this. And Alex is still trying to maintain control over his troops. And he's like, you have to obey me. I'm in charge. I'm your master. And no one's listening to him anymore. Even the rocker guy, who was, the most loyal. And Dazzler's like, look, there's no one for you left to manipulate. So, just give it up. And Beast is like, yeah, let's see you talk your way out of this one. And Doom finally approaches and says, enough of this prattle. And he gives this Doom speech in this sense of endless battle. And they're all like, oh crap, it's Dr. Doom. Because he is, a formidable villain. It's just, like, I mean, I'm sorry, I've been making a little bit of fun of him during this series just because it's been funny. But he's like, so basically Doom starts making fun of the guy who says he's his son. So this is the great army you amassed. These are your faithful legions. It seems you pose a far greater threat to yourself than to the rule of Dr. Doom over Latveria. It takes more than a fancy suit and an ill-conceived plan to rise above the rabble as sovereign. You are not possessed of the indefinite essence that makes a grand man truly great. You are a miscreant. It's time to lay rest to your nonsensical claim to the bloodline of Victor Von Doom. Yet I shall let you live. What ends would be served by your destruction? Bah! He is nothing but a contemptible, pitiful disgrace. Do with him what you will. So that was Doom's big speech. Like, he just came in and there was no fighting. He didn't engage anyone or anything. He just was like, that's it. I'm done. And so now they're all like, we're free. We're finally free. And they decide that they are actually a family. And so they decide to rebuild the theater and play by their rules, though, and have it be run the way they think it should be run. And so therefore, and they make fun of Flynn and saying, well, we'll need like a boot polisher and a water boy and, stuff like that. And so Dazzler and Beast leave and they go back to the place and they talk and they say, it makes us, basically, this is the end of their romance because they're like, we both used romance as an escape from something. So we need to first figure out what we are running from, what we are escaping from, that we just wanted to escape together in romance. So, and then you see Link and Poltergeist. They're like, they're trying to decide where to go next. And Poltergeist says, well, what about Wyoming, Link? I've never seen a cowboy. And then Link says, yeah, cowboys are cool, Mickey, but what about Texas? That sounds cool too. I agree. Texas is the clear choice. But anyway, so that's it. Kind of anticlimactic, but of course, unfortunately, they couldn't stay in love because, it was basically just for this story, and they weren't really in love. I mean, they were, but, it had to end. Plus, Dazzler later meets Longshot, and that's basically her great love. Beast has a couple of girlfriends, like Trish Tilby, the reporter, but he's not, he's unlucky in love, basically. I feel sorry for Beast. But anyway, I mean, it was a good story though, and I hope you enjoyed that series on it. And like I said, I really wanted to do it, for Valentine's Day because it's a Marvel love story that's not very well known, I'm sure. And it's like I said, it's only for that sole purpose of the 4 issues, their romance, and it's very short-lived, but it was a cool story, and it's not one that's well known, so I thought it'd be kind of fun to do that. So I hope you enjoyed this video and this series, um, and I hope you will join me in the future for more videos. Until next time, bye.